What's up guys, I'm ProDragon07 and I'm going to teach you how to maximize your gold earning potential by working smarter, not harder. Let's face it, you can be great at PVM, you can be great at PKing, but you probably aren't going to be the best. And if you are the best, then you definitely aren't going to be watching this video. Getting better at these things takes time and quite possibly skill, but don't worry, there's a way around this. I'm going to show you how to build a massive bank by simply flipping on the Grand Exchange. It's called passive income, and this is actually a highly advanced term that most people don't know about. See, your value in this game and in real life is derived by how much your bank is worth, but it doesn't matter how you get rich. You just need to get there one way or another. You may ask, why don't I just passively flip items while PVMing? This is a really dumb question, but I'll answer it anyway just for your sake. You can't waste time PVMing because that's time that could be spent flipping even more. You want to be doing in the ballpark of 60 to 80 flips per hour. As far as stats go, you're just going to want to knock out the requirements to wear high level gear like Torva or Ancestral, something like base 90 combats. You can just take care of this at Sand Crabs if you don't have these stats already. Now of course it's more efficient to train with Slayer, but the problem with this is it's a slippery slope. If you start doing a bunch of Slayer, you might start enjoying yourself and setting Slayer goals. Maybe you start knocking out a few quests to unlock better tasks. Before you know it, you'll be doing Slayer bosses and thinking about learning raids. Now you've just wasted months, if not years of your time, building your account when you could have just AFK'd your stats to 90 and then jumped right into flipping. Another problem with actually building a good account is that then everyone's gonna assume that you got all your gold with bossing in Slayer. You'll just be another mindless drone in the ant colony, killing boss after boss, getting drops, and then teleporting to the GE, only to be completely ignored. If you have a bad account with a lot of money, people are going to start asking questions. They'll probably accuse you of buying bonds, maybe real-world trading. This is perfect because then you can tell them about your unmatched flipping capabilities, making you seem like the second coming of Warren Buffett or something like that. If people don't believe you, it doesn't matter. Their opinion is irrelevant because they're probably broke anyway. Let's talk charts. What you see here is a standard candle chart. You've got your Fibonacci lines, your retracement lines, maybe some support lines. Sometimes the candles go red, sometimes they're green. I really have no idea what any of this stuff means, and you don't need to either. You just need to familiarize yourself with a bunch of finance terms and then regurgitate them into every single conversation you have about flipping. This will give everyone the impression that you are extremely knowledgeable about money, and they'll probably just shut the fuck up because they're intimidated by your intelligence. You're gonna want to be on GE Tracker day in and day out, screenshotting multiple charts every hour and then drawing a bunch of random lines on them and posting them in a flipping Discord. There's always the possibility that someone in one of these Discords might figure out you have no idea what you're talking about and start calling you out for it. It's important to be as condescending as possible in these situations. Don't waste your time Googling stuff in a hopeless attempt to make a logical argument. Instead, just use terms like imagine or brain dead and be completely dismissive. This is one of those fake it till you make it scenarios. The best flippers give off the impression that they are 10 steps ahead of the competition at all times. The actual knowledge about flipping is not important to start. That stuff will come naturally with time. As you get deeper into the flipping game, you're gonna want to actually make some money so you have some expensive gear to show off. I recommend buying about 100 mil worth of bonds to get you started and then taking that secret to the grave. From here, you're gonna claim that you started your flipping journey with only 1 mil, and then you should find someone who actually knows a thing or two about flipping and befriend them. I'm gonna make a full-scale guide on how to make friends in OSRS in the future, but basically you're just going to single out someone on Discord that seems like they know what they're talking about and follow them around in game, agreeing with everything that they say in chat. Once you get this whole friendship thing handled, you'll want to just follow all this person's flips and then reap the rewards. This flipper will probably have a lot more money than you do if they're successful in the first place, so you're probably going to need to buy more bonds to keep up, document all your successful flips, and then brag about them in game and on social media. You're probably going to get a lot of DMs from girls who are attracted to you now because you're so good at flipping, so just try to not waste too much time with them because you have more flipping to do. Once you surpass your flipping mentor, mostly due to the fact that you've been maxing out credit cards from buying bonds. You are now free to completely turn against him. Tell him that you never needed his help. You were actually making more money than him the whole time, with secret trades that he knew nothing about, and then just put the guy on ignore. To be the best, you have to ignore list the best. That way, if this guy tries to one-up you, you're not even going to see the message. It'll be like it never happened. Finally, you have reached the pinnacle of OSRS. Once you have a really expensive gear setup, you can pretty much just stop flipping. If you're wearing 2 bill worth of gear, it's completely feasible that you have a 20 bill bank. Your gear setup doesn't need to match or make sense, it just needs to cost a lot. From here, all you need to do is convince as many people as possible that you're a flipping genius. This means that you should be standing at the Grand Exchange, giving full-on lectures to anybody who will listen. This is a full-time job, and by full-time, I mean every waking hour for the rest of your life. There are millions of active OSRS players, and you don't want a single one of them to forget who the best flipper of all time is. Be as smug as possible in any interaction, never give any coherent advice, and act like everyone who asks questions is bothering you, even though you're the one who started the conversation in the first place. Of course, a great flipper will surround himself with yes men, and also every great flipper will have an army of alts to bypass GE limits. So there you go. Your alts can also be your yes men. That's how you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Station 2 of your alts around you at all times, and agree with yourself on every point you make on your main. If you're wondering why you can't have your friends be your yes men, it's because you should have alienated every other player that you've ever come in contact with in this game. The sad reality is, maybe you had friends before you became the best, but at one point or another, you were forced to sit them down and explain to them that their lack of GP was a personal insult to you. It's a hard talk to have, but that's why it's absolutely necessary. That's gonna do it for today. If you found value in this video, please buy my exclusive flipping course. I had the whole thing made by some guy on Fiverr, and he seemed pretty smart, so I think it can definitely help you guys out.